Hello and welcome to Election Night 2020 between Democrat Michael Bloomberg and President Donald Trump. So before we get started, please go down and subscribe. The end of the month goal is to hit 185, and make sure to check out my other videos. So let's get started. The running mate for Michael Bloomberg is Senator Cory Booker, and Donald Trump's is Vice President Mike Pence. We have our MSNBC prediction showing Bloomberg will win. CNN showing Bloomberg will win. Fox News showing Donald Trump will win. ABC News showing Donald Trump will win. The Wall Street Journal showing Bloomberg winning. And the New York Times showing Donald Trump winning. We have our 7 p.m. poll closings in the states of Vermont, Indiana, Kentucky, Virginia, South Carolina, and Georgia. In the state of Indiana, its projected winner is Donald Trump. In Vermont, its projected winner is Michael Bloomberg, 3 electoral votes going into his column. Kentucky going to Donald Trump, 8 electoral votes added to his column. And in the state of Virginia, it is too close to call. Michael Bloomberg has a 2% lead over Donald Trump. 21% of the vote is in. It's worth 13 electoral votes. And the state of South Carolina is called to go to Donald Trump. Its 8 electoral votes will add to his column. And in the state of Georgia, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a 12-point lead over Michael Bloomberg. 17% of the vote is in. It's worth 16 electoral votes. Donald Trump currently has 28 electoral votes to Michael Bloomberg's 3. We have our 7:30 p.m. poll closings in the states of Ohio, West Virginia, and North Carolina. In the state of West Virginia, it's projected to go to Donald Trump. Its 5 electoral votes will add to his column. And in the state of Ohio, it is too close to call. Donald Trump has a large 14-point lead over Michael Bloomberg. It's worth 18 electoral votes and 15% of the votes in. In the state of North Carolina, it's worth 15 electoral votes, 21% of the votes in, and Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg. We have an update in the state of Virginia. It's worth 13 electoral votes, 36% of the vote is in, and Bloomberg takes his 6-point lead now. And an update in the state of Georgia, Donald Trump has an 8-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 16 electoral votes and 30% of the vote is in. Donald Trump has 33 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 3. We have our 8 p.m. poll closings in the states of Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, District of Columbia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Illinois, Missouri, and Oklahoma. In the state of Maine at large, Michael Bloomberg has a 1-point lead over Donald Trump. It's worth 2 electoral votes, and it's got 26% of the vote in. And Maine's 1st congressional district is called to go to Michael Bloomberg. Its 1 electoral vote will add to his column. And Maine's 2nd is too close to call. Donald Trump carried it last time, and he currently has an 8-point lead over Michael Bloomberg. 34% of the vote is in. And the state of Massachusetts is projected to go to Michael Bloomberg, as well as Rhode Island, adding 4 electoral votes. Connecticut adding 7 electoral votes. New Jersey adding 14 electoral votes to Bloomberg. Delaware adding 3 electoral votes to Bloomberg's column. Maryland adding 10 electoral votes to Bloomberg's column. DC adding 3 electoral votes to Bloomberg's column. And the state of New Hampshire is too close to call. Bloomberg has a 3-point lead over Donald Trump. 22% of the vote is in, and it's worth 4 electoral votes. In the crucial state of Pennsylvania, Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. It's worth 20 electoral votes, and 14% of the vote is in. In the state of Florida, Donald Trump has a 2-point lead over Michael Bloomberg. It's with 29 electoral votes, and it's got 10% of the vote in. The state of Illinois is getting called for Michael Bloomberg. It's 20 electoral votes will add to his column. And the state of Tennessee, its 11 electoral votes are projected to go to Donald Trump, as well as Mississippi's 6 electoral votes going into Trump's column. Missouri's 10 electoral votes into Trump's column. Oklahoma's 7 electoral votes going into Trump's column. And the state of Ohio is too close to call. Trump having now a 12-point lead over Michael Bloomberg, 29% of the votes in. It's worth 18 electoral votes. In the state of North Carolina, Donald Trump has a 5-point lead over Bloomberg, 32% of the votes in. It's worth 15 electoral votes. In the state of Virginia, 13 electoral votes, 51% in, and Bloomberg having a 6-point lead over Donald Trump. In the state of Georgia, for 16 electoral votes, 42% of the votes in, and Trump has a 7-point lead over Bloomberg. There's a tie in electoral votes, Trump having 76 and Bloomberg having 76. We have our 8:30 p.m. poll closing in the state of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas is projected to go to Donald Trump. Its 6 electoral votes will be added to his column. And we have an update in the state of Maine. Maine at large is too close to call. Bloomberg has a 2-point lead over Donald Trump. It's worth 2 electoral votes and is 34% in. In Maine's second, about half the votes in. It's worth 1 electoral vote, and Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg. In the state of New Hampshire, it's worth 4 electoral votes, 30% of the votes in, and Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. In the state of Pennsylvania, Trump takes the lead by 1%. It's worth 20 electoral votes, and it's 23% in. In the state of Florida, Trump has a 2.5-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 29 electoral votes, and 20% of the vote is in. In the state of Ohio, it's worth 18 electoral votes, 37% in, and Trump has a 10-point lead over Bloomberg. In the state of North Carolina, Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg, 44% of the votes in, and it's worth 15 electoral votes. In the state of Virginia, Bloomberg having a 5-point lead over Trump, 65% of the votes in, and it's worth 13 electoral votes. An update in Georgia, Trump has an 8-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 16 electoral votes and half the votes in. Trump now taking an 82-point lead to Bloomberg's 76 electoral votes. We have our 9 p.m. poll closings in the states of New York, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Louisiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Texas, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. The state of New York is projected to go to Michael Bloomberg. Its 29 electoral votes will be added to his column. In the state of Michigan, it's too close to call. Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg. It's with 16 electoral votes and 17% of the votes in. In the state of Wisconsin, Trump has a 4-point lead over Bloomberg. It's with 10 electoral votes and 22% of the votes in. In the state of Minnesota, it's with 10 electoral votes, 27% is in, and Bloomberg has a 6-point lead over Donald Trump. And the projected states are going to be going to Donald Trump. North Dakota, it's 3 electoral votes. South Dakota, it's 3 electoral votes. Nebraska at large is 2 electoral votes. Nebraska's 1st district. Too close to call is Nebraska's 2nd district, where Trump has a 4-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 1 electoral vote and 20% is in. Nebraska's 3rd district is projected to go to Donald Trump. The state of Kansas is projected to go to Donald Trump with 6 electoral votes. Louisiana's 8 electoral votes going to Donald Trump. Texas's 38 electoral votes are projected to go to Donald Trump. Wyoming's 3 electoral votes going to Donald Trump. And Colorado is too close to call. Bloomberg has a 6-point lead over Donald Trump, and a quarter of the votes are in. In the state of New Mexico, its projected winner is Michael Bloomberg. It's 5 electoral votes going into his column. In the state of Arizona, Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg, and a fifth of the vote is in. It's worth 11 electoral votes. Maine at large, Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. Half the votes in, it's worth 2 electoral votes. In Maine second, it's worth 1 electoral vote. 63% of votes in, and Trump has a 4-point lead over Bloomberg. In New Hampshire, it's worth 4 electoral votes. 41% of the votes in, and Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. In the state of Pennsylvania, Bloomberg takes a 2-point lead over Donald Trump now. 36% of the votes in, and it's worth 20 electoral votes. In the state of Florida, Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 29 electoral votes, and 32% is in. In the state of Ohio, Trump having an 8-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 18 electoral votes, and half of the votes in. In the state of North Carolina, Donald Trump has a 5-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 15 electoral votes, and more than half the votes in. We have a call in the state of Virginia. Its projected winner is Michael Bloomberg. Its 13 electoral votes will be added to his column. And the state of Georgia is going to stay with Donald Trump, and 16 electoral votes are going to his column. Donald Trump has 163 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 123. There were 10 p.m. poll closings in the states of Iowa, Montana, Utah, and Nevada. In the state of Iowa, 27% of the votes in, and Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg. In the state of Montana, its projected winner is Donald Trump. Its 3 electoral votes will add to his column. In the state of Utah, its 6 electoral votes are projected to go to Donald Trump. In the state of Nevada, a quarter of the votes in, and Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 6 electoral votes. In the state of Michigan, Donald Trump has a 1-point lead over Bloomberg. 30% of the votes in, and it's worth 16 electoral votes. In the state of Wisconsin, its 10 electoral votes are 37% in, and Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg. In the state of Minnesota, Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. 40% of the votes in, and it's worth 10 electoral votes. Nebraska is second. Its 1 electoral vote is a third in, and Trump has a 5-point lead over Bloomberg. In the state of Colorado, Donald Trump is 4 points behind Bloomberg. 39% of the votes in, and it's worth 9 electoral votes. In the state of Arizona, Donald Trump has a 5-point lead over Bloomberg. 35% is in, and it's worth 11 electoral votes. In Maine at large, it's 60% in, and it's worth 2 electoral votes. Bloomberg has a 3-point lead over Donald Trump. In Maine second, Donald Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg, and 3/4 of the votes in. It's worth 1 electoral vote. In the state of New Hampshire, Bloomberg has a 5-point lead over Donald Trump. It's worth 4 electoral votes, and half the votes in. In the state of Pennsylvania, half the votes in. It's worth 20 electoral votes, and Bloomberg has a 6-point lead over Donald Trump. And in the state of Florida, Trump has a 1.5-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 29 electoral votes, and half the votes in. We have a projected winner in the state of Ohio. Donald Trump's going to win the state of Ohio and gain its 18 electoral votes into his column. In the state of North Carolina, Donald Trump has a 4-point lead over Bloomberg. 70% of the votes in is worth 15 electoral votes. Donald Trump has 190 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 123. We have our 11 p.m. poll closings in the states of Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California, and Hawaii. In the state of Hawaii, Michael Bloomberg is the projected winner, carrying its 4 electoral votes. In the state of Oregon, Michael Bloomberg is projected to carry there's 7 electoral votes. In the state of Washington, Bloomberg is projected to carry its 12 electoral votes. And in the biggest state, Michael Bloomberg's projected to win its 55 electoral votes. In the state of Idaho, Donald Trump is projected to win its 4 electoral votes. And in the state of Iowa, Trump has a 7-point lead over Bloomberg, 41% of the votes in, and it's worth 6 electoral votes. In the state of Nevada, Trump has a 3-point lead over Bloomberg, 38% of the votes in, and it's worth 6 electoral votes. In the state of Michigan, half the votes in, it's worth 16 electoral votes, and Bloomberg has a 2-point lead over Donald Trump. In the state of Wisconsin, Trump has a 3-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 10 electoral votes and half the votes in. In the state of Minnesota, 56% of the votes in is worth 10 electoral votes, and Bloomberg has a 3-point lead over Donald Trump. In the state of Nebraska, second, Donald Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg. It's worth 1 electoral vote and half the votes in. In the state of Colorado, Bloomberg has a 6-point lead over Donald Trump. It's worth 9 electoral votes and half the votes in. In the state of Arizona, Donald Trump has a 3-point lead over Bloomberg, half the votes in, and it's worth 11 electoral votes. In the state of Maine at large, its 2 electoral votes are 73% in, and Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. In Maine second, 84% of the votes in, it's worth 1 electoral vote, and Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg. In the state of New Hampshire, Bloomberg has a 6-point lead over Donald Trump and 70% of the votes in. So with 4 electoral votes. In the state of Pennsylvania, Bloomberg has a 2-point lead over Donald Trump. So with 20 electoral votes and 61% of the votes in. In the state of Florida, it's for 29 electoral votes, 71% of the votes in, and Trump has a 1-point lead over Bloomberg. We have a call in the state of North Carolina. Donald Trump is projected to carry its 15 electoral votes. Donald Trump has 209 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 201. We have a 1 a.m. poll closing in the state of Alaska. In the state of Alaska, Donald Trump is projected to carry its 3 electoral votes. In the state of Iowa, Donald Trump has an 8-point lead over Michael Bloomberg. 77% of the votes in is worth 6 electoral votes. In the state of Nevada, Donald Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg and 58% of the votes in. In the state of Michigan, Bloomberg has a 2-point lead over Donald Trump. 61% of the votes in, it's worth 16 electoral votes. In the state of Wisconsin, Donald Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg. 70% of the votes in, it's worth 10 electoral votes. In the state of Minnesota, Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. 68% of the votes in, it's worth 10 electoral votes. In the state of Nebraska, second, 62% is in, it's worth 1 electoral vote, and Donald Trump has a 6-point lead. In the state of Colorado, 2/3 of the votes in, Bloomberg has a 3-point lead over Donald Trump. It's worth 9 electoral votes. Arizona is 60% in, it's worth 11 electoral votes, and Trump has a 6-point lead over Bloomberg. We have a call in Maine at large. Michael Bloomberg is projected to carry its 2 electoral votes. In Maine second, Donald Trump is projected to carry its 1 electoral vote. In the state of New Hampshire, 88% of the votes in, and Bloomberg has a 4-point lead over Donald Trump. It's with 4 electoral votes. In the state of Pennsylvania, Donald Trump has a 1-point lead over Bloomberg. 76% is in, it's worth 20 electoral votes. In the state of Florida, it's worth 29 electoral votes. Donald Trump has a 2-point lead over Bloomberg, and 85% is in. Donald Trump has 213 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 203. We have a call in the state of Iowa. Donald Trump is projected to carry 6 electoral votes. And in the state of Nevada, Donald Trump has a half-point lead over Michael Bloomberg. 73% of the votes in, it's worth 6 electoral votes. In the state of Michigan, 16 electoral votes are 78% in, and Bloomberg has a half-point lead over Donald Trump. In the state of Wisconsin, Trump has a 1.5-point lead over Bloomberg. 88% is in. It's with 10 electoral votes. In the state of Minnesota, 80% is in. It's with 10 electoral votes, and Bloomberg has a 2-point lead. We have a call in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. Donald Trump is projected to win its 1 electoral vote. In the state of Colorado, its projected winner is Michael Bloomberg. He's projected to carry its 9 electoral votes. In the state of Arizona, Donald Trump has a 4-point lead over Bloomberg with 11 electoral votes. 78% is in. We have a call in the state of New Hampshire. Its projected winner is Michael Bloomberg, carrying its 4 electoral votes. In the state of Pennsylvania, 87% of the votes in, so 20 electoral votes, and Trump has a half-point lead over Bloomberg. We have a major call in the state of Florida. Donald Trump's going to be the projected winner, carrying its 29 electoral votes. In the road to 270, Trump has 249 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 216. In the state of Nevada, it's 92% in. Trump has a 0.4 lead over Michael Bloomberg, and it's worth 6 electoral votes. In the state of Michigan, Bloomberg is behind by 0.6%. 90% is in, and it's worth 16 electoral votes. Breaking news. In the state of Wisconsin, Donald Trump is the projected winner, carrying its 10 electoral votes. In the state of Minnesota, Michael Bloomberg's projected winner, carrying its 10 electoral votes, and Donald Trump's projected to carry the state of Arizona, carrying its 11 electoral votes. Breaking news. Donald Trump is projected to win the presidency, being re-elected for a 2nd term, beating Michael Bloomberg, the 8th richest person in the United States. Pennsylvania, Donald Trump is ahead by 0.8%. 96% is in. Donald Trump has reached 270, and Bloomberg is at 226. We have a call in Nevada. This is a flip from 2016. Hillary Clinton carried it before, and Donald Trump will carry it now, but with its 6 electoral votes going into his margin. In the state of Michigan, its projected winner is Michael Bloomberg, carrying its 16 electoral votes, a flip from 2016. And in the state of Pennsylvania, its projected winner is Donald Trump, carrying its 20 electoral votes. It ends off with Donald Trump with 296 electoral votes to Bloomberg's 242. Thanks for watching. Comment if you agree or disagree. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Bye.